Well, good morning, everybody. This is Zachman, Zach, founder of Beamin, and we are coming to you live, Facebook Live, out of Danny Kalela's studio. Now, this guy is awesome. If you do not know Danny, you need to get to know Danny. This guy is an expert at what he does. We're so proud that he is doing video and Facebook Living for the Beamin community. He's making us look better every single day. So it's my pleasure this morning to come to y'all and talk to you about financial freedom. And sitting to my right side here is one of my favorite men on the whole planet. This is Mr. J.B. Braden, and J.B. is a motivational speaker and inspirational gentleman. He's an executive and business coach. J.B., how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Zach. How are you?
You know, I'm doing all right. Now,
Excellent.
I'm not quite as awake as you. You know that.
Well, you know I'm a morning person.
Yeah, this guy's been up for about 5 hours, ladies and gentlemen. And I see you got your coffee, you got your black jacket, you ready to roll?
Ready to rock and roll,
Awesome.
man.
Well, hey, I thought we'd just dive right into it.
Absolutely. That's
so
good.
I've gotten to know you for a couple of years now, and I know your passion. But for the men in our community and the men that have not yet come into our community, tell me a little bit about this passion, this thing about, you know, the heart of a champion.
Sure. Listen, my passion is to empower people, specifically men, to be the best they can be. Because, see, we have one life, Zach, right?
We get one shot at the
We get one shot at this thing. And my philosophy is we need to make it the best it can be. And so I want to empower people to create a life of success, a life that they can be proud of, a legacy, because it's our choice. It's our duty and our obligation to do so. And so my passion is to empower people to live their best life possible.
Wow, that's awesome. I like that you used the word legacy. So many of us are thinking so short-sighted, and we're not thinking about the long-term game plan. So, you know, we have the pleasure that you've come into the Beamin community. In fact, gentlemen, he is one of our advisory council members.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about, you know, why Beamin, why an advisory council member, you know, what's this passion for men all about?
I want to empower men to be extraordinary, okay? We talk about it a lot, gentleman, warrior, hero, okay? I love that we talk about that. I'm sick and tired of our society preaching average, okay? Average gets us nowhere, Zach.
Mediocre.
Right? Mediocre gets us nowhere. I mean, you look at our society today, and it's dumbing down everything, and it's teaching our kids that average is okay. Average is not okay, right? Because average cannot sustain obstacles and challenges,
right?
But extraordinary can, right? And so I want to empower men and teach them how to be extraordinary men, because it's our responsibility, Zach, to be the best man we can be, to be the best husband we can be, to be the best businessman we can be, to be the best father we can be. We owe that to ourselves and our families. And that's why I'm a part of this community, because I want us to be extraordinary. And we all we can make that choice to do so. No matter what has happened in our life. No matter what has happened up to this point, whether we had abusive parents, you know, whether we lost a limb, whether we had a disability, it doesn't matter what happened up to this point. We still have the choice and the power to choose how we're going to build our life and live our life.
There you go.
And it's our job to make it the best.
There you go. Now, I know a lot of men do face challenges, right? Let's be honest, fellas.
Absolutely.
This hasn't been just a smooth ride with no hiccups or bumps in the road. Have you ever had, you know, a speed bump, one or two?
One or two that I can think of.
Yeah, just one. Comes to mind.
Man, are you kidding me? You know my story, man. I was raised by a single mom. So I grew up without a father in my life.
All right.
I had no idea what a father-son relationship looked like. I didn't know what a husband-wife relationship looked like, Zach. I had to learn those things along the way, okay? And I learned throughout my journey that I had this anger towards my father at one point because he wasn't a part of my life. And then I realized, you know, just in my personal growth, I realized that could keep me from being successful, hanging on to that anger.
Yeah.
Because no matter what his decision was, he decided not to be a part of my life.
Okay.
I can't control that. But I can control how I allow it to make me feel. You know, one of my mentors told me, control the things you can control. And so, you know, unfortunately, I can't control the fact that my father chose not to be a part of my life. But I can control that I'm not going to allow his decision to keep me from being successful in my life.
That's good.
Yeah.
Play
And so,
the victor, not the victim.
absolutely. And that's what I want to empower people to do. Be the victor, not the victim.
There you go.
Right? That's what Champion's Mindset's all about as well.
Real quick, man, I want you all to know something. Anger is okay. We've been being preached for a generation or two that anger is not a bad thing.
Right.
But let's be honest. There's light and dark. There are emotions that are good and maybe not so good. And if you can't feel anger, guess what else you can't really feel? Joy. If you cut out one side, you're not going to be able to really experience the other.
Right. And I want to add to that.
Go ahead.
Because not just anger, but all of our emotions are good. It's how we handle those emotions and how we learn to handle them. And do we allow those emotions to control us, or do we control them?
Oh, man, that's good stuff. Yeah. We had your cohort, Mr. Chris Natsky, Master Natsky, in here talking about emotional intelligence.
Right.
So that's a good segue to kind of push us and segue into, last month was emotional intelligence, but today is financial freedom.
Okay.
So I want to ask you like that $5 million question. Why do you think men struggle around the issue of money?
It's simple. It's the same reason.
Wait. It's simple?
It is simple.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm all ears
it's
now,
simple.
brother.
And it's not just men. It's most people.
Okay, so this is a human
It
situation.
It is.
Okay.
Because we're not taught about money growing up. You think about when we grew up in our households. There was two things that we were taught that was taboo to talk about.
Yeah.
Sex and money.
Amen.
Okay? Growing up in our households, if you talked about sex or money, that was taboo. Oh, we're not going to talk about that.
That's right.
But growing up, what are the two things that we experience the most? Sex and money. And we need those things, right?
Absolutely.
And we need money like we need the air we breathe.
There you go.
And it's not taught that. It's not, the importance of money is not taught that. As a matter of fact, it's taught, you hear people say, oh, money's not that important. Most people will say they don't have money. Okay? But money is very important, and we struggle with it because at an early age, we are developed, our mindset around money is developed. If you start to think back to some of the things that we're taught and how it developed in our minds, you hear people say, well, money don't grow on trees, or...
Oh, my dad said that all the time. He was the king of cliches.
What the hell does that mean? Right? You understand and so you're talking about, what does that mean? Right? And so our mindsets around money is formed at an early age.
Okay.
And so if we don't take a look at our mindsets around money and what's been ingrained in us about money, which for most of us is negative things.
Oh, yeah, right.
And that's the reason why most of us struggle with money.
Well, you talk about negativity and money.
Yeah.
There's that really way back in the day, 2,000 years old cliche phrase, money doesn't make you happy. Money is the root of all evil, JB.
Yeah. I've heard those, and those are the types of things that have been ingrained in us. Especially that saying, money is the root of all evil, and that's not even the right saying.
It isn't.
It's the love of money is the root of all evil. Okay, and so people get that wrong all the time. But let's talk about why money is important.
Okay. Let's do it.
You talked about financial freedom.
Right.
That's exactly what money provides for everyone. When you have a large sum of money, it provides freedom.
There you go.
How many people out there, their goal is to help other people? Most of us, right?
That's right.
We want to do that. But just how many people can you help when you're struggling financially?
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one. That's been a struggle for me as the founder. Hey, follow me. I'm about 2 strokes away from drowning.
Right. Because here's the thing. Because not only, we're not talking about just helping people financially, but you can't help them with your creativity. You can't show up to be the badass superhero you were born to be when you're struggling with money, when you're struggling with how am I going to eat, the next week.
You can't thrive if you're just trying to survive.
Exactly. You can't thrive if you're just trying to survive.
Hey,
but
use that.
Thank you. I've used it before. I stole it from you, by the way.
I thought I stole it from you.
No, I stole that from you. But just think about it, especially all of those there that they say they want to help people. Think about how many more people you can help if you got $1 million in the bank as opposed to $10,000 in the bank. Because that frees you up to be creative, to create things, to create jobs, to create projects, to create resources for those people that you want to help.
So if they don't really teach us in school, and you said, so then obviously we just learn at home, but you already talked about the fact that your father maybe was not there because
Right.
of the choice he made.
Yeah.
Okay, so what propelled you, young man, or as a younger man, to get to know and maybe have I think you have a positive mindset about
Right.
money.
Oh, yeah.
What happened? How'd you do that?
Man, let me tell you something. I had mentors, but
Okay.
mentors, but it also comes down to personal growth.
Okay.
You know, and then one of those mentors said, my income will grow only to the extent I do. That goes
Okay.
back to personal development.
Okay.
That goes back to you checking your mindset, taking an inventory of what is my mindset around money. What were some of those negative things I heard about money, and how they're affecting and showing up in my personal and business life. You see, I did that. I'm going to give you 2 books
Yeah?
that have really changed my mindset and life around money.
How
Okay?
beautiful.
And one of them is by Jen Sincero. It's called The Secrets of a Millionaire. It's called How to Be a Badass at Making Money.
Oh, yeah.
You're a
I've heard
badass
about
at making
the
money.
badass. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that's by Jen Sincero.
Okay.
The other one is by T. Harv Eker.
Yeah,
It's
heard
The
again,
Secrets
that
of a
guy.
Millionaire Mind.
Okay.
Okay, and the people hear that and they think, well, I don't want to be a millionaire. First of all, I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to be a millionaire. That's the first thing. But even if you don't want to be a millionaire, that's up to you. I'm not going to get into that. He goes in and he really helps you travel down the road of how your mindset around money was developed
Okay.
and how you can break that and
Oh.
break free of that.
Well, you
Okay.
talked about, money is one of those taboo subjects.
Yeah,
But as I've noticed that being a financial coach, it's not just sensitive, it's psychological.
yeah,
Like, people bring baggage.
right.
Like,
yeah.
my joke is the question, did you walk in with the satchel, or do you have the 7-piece matching alligator set with you?
Right.
So those books helped you? That's
Absolutely.
what helped you out? Okay.
Yeah, they did. Those books, they helped me along with and there's other books out there.
Okay.
But those are two
Those are
key
the two
books
kind-
that really helped me because both of those books, they don't just tackle how to accumulate money and how to accumulate wealth. They talk about your mindset around it. Because think about
okay.
this. Our biggest obstacle is our mind.
Oh,
And
amen.
anything we do. And when we
Amen.
start to change our mind and our mindset about things and how we think and what's been ingrained in us, then we start to move forward and see the success.
There you go. About the moving forward, do you feel like that came out of you? Was the catalyst inside of you, or was it some of those mentors outside of you?
I think it was both.
Okay, so
Because it's in you. But sometimes it takes someone else to help you get out of it. One of the sayings that I heard not too long ago was, sometimes people don't see the light in them until you shine the light on them.
Oh, I
Right?
like that.
Okay?
I might
And
steal that one.
Well, you can have that one, right?
All right, you can give
But
it.
that's another reason why I love Be Men, because there's people out there that they need to have the light shined on them so that they can see the light in them. Right?
And isn't that interesting? Like, I have a perspective about you, but then I have a perspective about me.
Right.
And your perspective of me may be very different than my own self-perception.
And in most cases, my perception of you may be better than your own perception of you.
That's right.
Yeah.
In fact, I know you've helped me with that.
Right.
In the coaching and teaching.
Right.
Now, what would you say to men out there? Because I know a lot of guys are, personal growth, self-development, and then I get better. Their brain their ego is already taken over for them and telling them why that's not a great thing. Or this idea that, hey, I'm a man. Come on, JB, I'm a man. I got this. I'm the man. I'm going to handle this all on my own. I don't need a mentor.
First, I have to laugh at you because I'm like, what the hell does that mean? I'm a man. Okay, absolutely. You're a man. And if you want to be the best version of yourself, and if you want to be a successful man, you will surround yourself with other successful men. You look at every successful person in the world. You go back and you read their biography. They had successful people around them to help them. There's not a single person that you can bring up that didn't have some people around them to help them along the journey, to help them discover those blind spots, to help them say, hey, it's going to be okay today, brother. It's okay you made that mistake. We all make mistakes, but let's keep our eye on the prize. We all need that.
There you go.
Okay? That's why we were meant to be on this earth together,
I like
to
that.
empower each other.
Community. Now, I know one of the guys you love the most, because you talk a lot about self-talk. I've really enjoyed your speaking, your inspirational
Right.
talks. This fella, you might have heard of him, guys. This guy, Muhammad, last name Ali, the greatest,
Yes.
according to him.
Right.
Did he have any coaches? Or was he solo in the corner of the ring?
Oh, he had plenty of coaches.
Wait, no. So the greatest that ever was, still had one or two or three guys in his corner.
And they all do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like that. So in your profession, were you always an entrepreneur and a speaker? Or were you in corporate and then an entrepreneur? Or?
I've done some corporate. I've been in and out of the restaurant business.
Okay.
But I've always had a heart for doing my own thing.
Okay.
And so I'm an entrepreneur, just at heart.
Yeah.
And so
that's who you are.
Well, I mean, when you find your purpose and your passion in life, then you can create it, and then there's no limitations.
Make that choice, as you said,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, you make that choice, and there's no limitations, right?
Good for you.
And so I like that because I want to be the best at what I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you've made the choice for you to be the man, right, instead of working for the man. And so,
Right.
guys, that's out there. That, be courageous. And if you don't know how to do that, as JB's telling us this morning, find a mentor, find coaches. If you want to go be great at something, let's say it's entrepreneurship, go find somebody who's already great at that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I also want to say this because whether you're an entrepreneur or work in corporate or wherever you are, we all have roles in life.
Yeah.
And whatever you choose to do, embrace it.
Be the best
Embrace
that you
it.
can be, right?
Be the best.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, we need people in all those roles. We need people that work at the Starbucks. We need people that's willing to work at the McDonald's, that's willing to head the corporation, to be a part of the corporation. We need all those pieces. And my thing is, whether you choose to be an entrepreneur, work in corporate world, wherever you choose to do, choose to be the best at it.
Nice. I like that. Well, it looks like we're at about time, but I want to ask you maybe even the $10 million question.
What's that?
So all the mentorship you've received, all the coaching you've given, all the inspirational talks you've had with people, and us working together and the Beeman Advisory Council, if you could share with the men in our community and the men who don't yet know our community, maybe just one thing about money and help them hear this as we get off this morning, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, make up your mind to make the most money you can make so that you can develop the freedom, acquire the freedom to help as many people as you want to help, and get into your personal development. Find those resources to help you grow because your income grows to the extent that you grow.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to sign off today. Remember that, gentlemen. Work harder on yourself than you do on your business. As you go, so goes the money. We love you being here. This is a part of our preparation for the 5 Pillars of Male Wellness coming up June 29th. And almost every Friday, we're going to be down here live, and we're going to be picking some awesome man's brain and bringing it to you live. So stay tuned. Have a great Friday.